just hear the beating of a little metal drum. That is my son just outside the door. I am David, and I am one of 4 owners with Rocketsword Games.
I'm Rue, and I am another owner.
So we have half the owners of Rocketsword Games, half the developers of Rocketsword Games, and we're creating a new game called Ascension Quest. But really, we're just having a more broad, general discussion about boss battles, our 3 favorite boss battles, and how that kind of influenced the creation of this game. So I'm gonna kick it off with Rue.
Dirty scoundrel.
Rue, what's like one of your 3? What's your third favorite boss battle?
Third favorite boss battle would have to be, I forget her name from Elden Ring.
Millennia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Millennia or
yeah.
something? Yeah.
Just the insanity of it, how hard it is, and how much it meant to you when you finally beat it.
Okay. So the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else about that battle that really stands out to you?
I mean, I think the challenge was probably the peak. Just the you almost had to be perfect at it or be so min maxed as a character and then beat it.
Okay. Yeah. So in all fairness, Rue did not formulate the boss rules for the game. So luckily, you do not have to have min-max perfect gameplay to beat bosses, but a big part of the boss battles that he's now influencing and that we're trying to develop is to have challenge. Yeah, significant challenge. And force you to make hard decisions throughout the battle. My third would probably be Jedi Fallen Order, the battle with Darth Vader. Because going into it, you know you cannot win. And I kind of like that feeling of helplessness. And like the goal of that battle is survival. And like something with TTRPGs that I enjoy introducing sometimes is like obviously you are in over your head and maybe you should like regroup and rethink the way you want to go about defeating this guy because he is way over your head and above your pay grade. So that was one of my favorites. I think if I had to like pair it with a movie, the Darth Maul fight where they'll try and where Obi-Wan's like stuck behind a fence and there's like this environmental burial and he's separated from his master and he has to watch his master die. That's what I love to do to my players in TTRPGs is have like those environmental moments or just kind of intense separation or like a brief feeling of hopelessness because it builds on like the drama and
Yeah.
excitement when you do overcome it.
Sort of like the monster that was chasing us, and he rolled a gnat to see me as I was stealthing, and he drugged me 100 feet away from my party to try and kill me.
Exactly like that. Yeah, that's verbatim what I was trying to do in that moment was have you just pick off a few people at a time and really build the suspense. To be fair, that's like a one-off session. I wouldn't be that big of a joke in every session. Maybe. I probably would. Okay, what about your number 2?
Number 2. I think you should go.
A little snake draft.
Yeah.
Um Probably Shadow of Colossus. I loved the first fight in that game against a big statue you gotta climb. Like, I think and really it was just the scale at that time was mind-boggling, and, like, the problem-solving, platforming, um, aspects of the fights, like, it wasn't just a big health bar, it was all this stuff you gotta like solve in the fight that made it fun and engaging. But the scale is definitely like something that influences like moments that I try to have with my players today, I think. And something I like to capture with Ascension Quest with our legendary monsters that like are gonna require sometimes one party can fight them, but oftentimes like multiple parties and world events will be kind of engaging with these big, massive, larger than life creatures. So yeah, that would be one. Okay, now you gotta come up with number two,
Yeah,
boss.
I know. Here's the issue.
To be fair, I came up with the topic and I delivered it to him 15 minutes
Yeah.
before this podcast.
And also, I mainly play multiplayer games.
Think like movie fights. Like final fights in movies, kind of like I did with Darth Maul, or like anime,
Obi-Wan and Anakin.
like anime fights, and final battles and that.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I picture a lot in um, when I'm playing and kind of reading over the rules is definitely like anime. Like I think Dragon Ball Z, even like Bleach is what I watched a lot of, and just the movement and the knockback, um, and needing to scoot closer. But just especially the knockback, but movement and kind of getting back up. And I know that you've already talked a bit about how it impacted it, but I can't specifically say a fight off the top of my head, but I definitely those are like areas that I go to when I'm
Mhm.
working on it, when I'm picturing it, even when I'm playing.
Yeah, I'd say any of the Dragon Ball Z fights where like you have to press and find a new level, or like it's
So every
down and out. Yeah, every level, every fight. But definitely My Hero Academia, like Deku and the big muscly dude, when they're having no battle and Deku just like mutilates his body to defeat him.
Yeah.
That definitely inspired like huge portions of the rules. And solo leveling was super inspiring. Now JJK has some influence, so it's definitely a lot to pull from. But I love some of the fights in solo leveling, especially, is what I was immediately watching while writing the rules.
Yeah.
So that was definitely like a very strong influence in the action, and like with all Canis having to build up the power over multiple rounds and everybody working to protect them. I really like that feeling. Like the fight we had with um not Cathraxis, uh Thraxion Prime.
Mm.
And like he's trying to pull the little dude apart, little Louis that you guys all love, and you have to save him, but then he's obviously casting a spell that takes multiple rounds, and Becca's trying to cast a spell,
Yeah.
one of our other players, that takes multiple rounds, and you're trying to protect and run interference and disrupt him, and it just created this really intense, like crazy moment, and then he got it off and you didn't stop him, and so the session ended with him opening a portal to the shadow realm and like 40 monsters walking through. Um, I just love the cinema. Like, it's
It
fun.
is very much so.
Yeah.
I would say just about all of your sessions have a very just cinematic feel, and I think that speaks to you as a GM, but also just the world that's been created.
Mhm. Yeah, almost every game I've played, like as a player with you or my dad, has been that way. I feel like the rules lend themselves to cool moments like
Yeah.
that. Like me and Malachi jumping to the ship and having zero health left, and we're in the going beyond state, and then supposed to be a boss fight,
Yeah.
and using the rules to sling him off the edge, and we're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's go to your number. Well, before number one, do you have any honorable mentions, like fights that come in your head, or battles in video games.
Um,
Like one of mine is a Destiny raid, like any of the Destiny raids,
hmm
because they have so many elements and things you're having to solve while doing the battle that I really appreciated that. Like none of the villains necessarily stand out, but the team play and like finally beating it that stands
Yeah,
out to me.
that makes sense. Honorable mentions. Sadly, no. I wish I had more time to think through this.
Um, I think yeah, one of mine was the Destiny raids. I was gonna mention the like solo leveling, really any of the fights, but especially the when he's like going through the depths of like Hades basically.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that final fight with the dragon lord, that one really is really cool. I love that one. Those are the main ones. Okay, let's go to your number one.
My number one. Dang.
I think Dark Souls, bro. You played every Dark Souls game.
Kind of, yeah.
And Elden Ring.
Well, that's what I started with, though, man. I didn't want to just stick with all souls. No, I think the phases, especially in Dark Souls, I think with Final Desperation, and how pretty much any named boss has a Final Desperation.
Yeah.
I definitely think of Souls game, really any of them, but um, I think the first one that comes to my mind, or two, is Dark Souls 1, or no, sorry, that one didn't. Yeah, was Elden Ring DLC actually the?
I didn't play it.
Yeah, I know.
I missed out.
It's one of the bosses from the base game, but his second phase is basically him getting empowered by almost another god, and it's just a whole different second phase, way harder, way more powerful, but just
Mm.
kind of that transition. And if you get hit by like a specific attack twice, you just instant die. But more so the phase really to me is
How it
what's
flips.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was my one honorable mention that has inspired a couple things recently in fights is Night Rain.
hmm
The scorpion fight with the butterflies.
Oh yeah,
I liked how it separates and like the parties having to deal with both threats.
yeah,
And then the multiple phases too, and how it gets more powerful and progressively more intense. And especially when they dropped the update where it made it even harder. It made it
yeah,
like even more interesting to me. Um and it's inspired a couple recent fights. But I like that was my honorable mention. My number one was Radon for Elden Ring. So that's why I
really.
said there was gonna be a lot of souls. Is again, I felt like it just progressively got more and more intense, and how that second phase kicks off is just
Yeah,
awesome. The other thing I really love to do as a GM is introduce NPCs who are there to make you feel something. So, like, introduce a good NPC that you love and decapitate him. Now you're ticked and you want to kill the guy who decapitated him. And I build the NPC to have low health so that I can do that. um, and
just a monster.
also introduce ones you don't like, but have him just like be completely eviscerated in a moment. Like when I introduced the Silent Phoenix Soldier, who's basically a Nazi in our world. Um, and you guys were like, "Gosh, I hate this guy," but he
Yeah,
can give us information. We'll take him with
we
us.
were basically stuck in almost hell, and we were just
Yeah,
befriend like working with whoever we could that wasn't a monster.
yeah. Or like the Upside Down when the Upside Down
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah,
But yeah, this Nazi just like in a moment got completely eviscerated, and that's how I introduced that monster. It made that monster a lot more scary because then in the next room, even though you handled it pretty well, you guys were like, "Oh, we gotta sneak around. We don't want to
yeah.
like alert them. How can we get around them?" And it just like made it more suspenseful, I thought. But I like in Radon fight how you have all those people you can spawn in who are
Yeah.
helping you, and the big jaw head guy that is fun and everybody likes, and then um the other ones who you don't care about at all. But it adds to the intensity that Radon's just like wiping everybody out.
Yeah.
And then the meteor crash, that's what I was talking about, with just the cinematic feel. And the massive battleground, the scale, the music, like everything about it was just really cool.
Also, it was Radon in the DLC.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so those would be my three. Do
Pretty
you
slick.
have anything else you'd like to share, talk about?
I mean,
Things to get off your chest?
it's just a blast. It's such a fun game, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. I think anyone who gets a chance to play it is going to love it. But as for inspiration, I didn't have much anyway, so I don't think I have much to add.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to one of our post episodes. I hope you continue to tag along. We'll continue to try to have these kind of nerdy discussions where maybe you can relate to it through just pop culture and media that you're familiar with. And then also combine that with developing a game, because that's where we're at in our life and that's what we want to share with you. So, there was Rue's dog. And peace. We'll see you guys later.